Well, I'm going to fill the water, and although we have full sun today, I'm going to use the generators to fill the water because, as I told you the other day, I got a bad battery and I haven't been to the store yet, and it's going to be another week or so before we make it to the store. So I'm going to not stress the batteries or the solar panels or anything, and I'll just run it off the generator. So we'll get it started, and then I want to tell you a story. It's an important story because I guess I've said it so many times, it's like a broken record, and there are people in the world who believe that no matter how much I tell you I'm a jerk, leave me alone, I don't want to be bothered, I make YouTube videos for a living, it's my 9 to 5, and after 5 o'clock I'm clocking out. I don't want anything to do with YouTube or the people who watch YouTube. So if you feel like that you have some sort of special privilege to me, you have special access to me because you watched a video of mine or all of my videos, I don't care. Once the edit button is done, I'm done with YouTube. I have 2 channels too, so you can go check them both out if you're that interested. But it is absolutely mind-boggling how a person can watch a video and all of a sudden think they have an intimate relationship with me. You do not. I don't know you at all. It is terrifying to believe that the world works like this. I just don't even understand it. Good people who somehow believe I'm special. I know that if I say hi to him and I tell him how great his videos is, I get a special pass because I said hi. No, there are 8 billion people on this planet, and I tell every one of them, leave me alone. The only people I want to associate anything with is people in this local area because they want me to work on their lawnmowers. If I didn't have to work on lawnmowers, I wouldn't even associate with them. And I didn't for the first 4 years that we were here. So let's get the generator started. Now these are a little bit hard to start because we're running on propane. So there's a specific procedure. You have to put it on choke and pull the rope 5 times. You have to do it this way. And then you take it over to run and you pull it, and it should start on the first pull. If not, then you go and do the whole thing over again. You take it over to choke, you pull the rope 5 times. Assuming I can get this to thread on. There we go. Now, we got 2 generators because I got a Paralink here. So instead of 3,000 watts, I have basically 6,000 watts. Well, wait a minute. How many watts is this? 2,500. So instead of 2,500 watts, I got 5,000 watts. So we're going to take it all the way over to choke. 1, 2, 3. Now I know it sounded like it was going to start, but you got to take it to 5, 4, 5. Now we take it to run. And I sped it up to high speed. Okay, so back in the 90s, My grandmother got a degenerative eye disease. I think it was called macular eye degeneration or something. Doesn't matter what it was called. But I guess more people started getting it in the 90s. Or it was becoming more recognizable as to what it was. I don't know. But a lot of people were getting it. So it was very distressing to my grandma. She was a very independent person. She liked to can food and garden. She built houses. She wasn't a professional carpenter, but she built all her homes. And she built a rental home. She ended up selling everything, but I mean, she also built a log house. No matter how many times I say this, she built it out of cedar trees, not pine trees. She didn't prefab them. I was 14 years old. I know exactly what she did. Well, I was actually 12 through 14. She cut them down when I was 12. And we had to bring them up to the farm. They're all cedar trees, not pine. I know what a cedar tree is. We got them all around here. And 2 years later, I stripped all the bark off every one of those trees. And then the next year, they built a log house out of those trees. So, I mean, she had her life. Grandpa was a chiropractor, naturalist, darn good one too. So, but they weren't famous. I mean, she stayed on the farm. She was a housewife, a mother, a grandmother, and lived kind of remotely. So, in the 90s, she started losing her eyesight. She couldn't drive anymore. Well, she saw this news episode of a guy who's losing his vision for the same exact reason. And Grandma loved to tell stories. And so on Sunday mornings, she'd always come up with some story, one that you've heard a million times. Well, this one was a new one. It's like, oh, it's a new one. Let's listen. So you listen, and she's talking about how this guy's got the same problem she has, and she wrote him a letter. And I mean, obviously this was back in the 90s. I was just out of the Navy. She, recited the letter word for word, basically. And she said, I hope that young man gets some enjoyment knowing that there's somebody else in the world with the same problem. And she says, I think his name was Stephen King. And, the whole family's looking at her like, what? And I said, the horror writer, the scary movie writer, scary book writer? Well, yeah, I guess so. I said, you didn't know that? She says, oh, I knew it, but I just didn't want him to know that I knew it. I said, Grandma, you can't do that. The man gets millions of letters a year from people just like you, who sit in their little log home, canning their vegetables. He has spent his life working to be famous, and he's got to make sure that his privacy is maintained, and he's got security guards, and his life is different than yours. He's never going to read your letter, and you think he has. And it's going to anger you when you find out, oh, of course he read it. No, he didn't. Did he write you back? No, it got put in a room full of letters, or in the burn barrel. Oh, I just don't believe that. He puts his pants on the same way as everybody else. And I said, yes, but they're much more expensive pants. If Stephen King came out to her farm, he would be so bored. They have nothing in common. I mean, for instance, Grandma never read one of his books, never watched one of his movies. She wasn't interested in him. She was interested in her narcissism, her story, not his story. She didn't care about his story. Now, no matter how famous he was or how good of his writings are, she didn't care. She cared about her story. Without even thinking about what that meant to him. oh, well, he's famous, you know, he's just going to have to accept that he's famous. No, he doesn't have to accept it. He has a 9-to-5 job. He writes books. When he's done writing, he puts the pen down. Occasionally, he has to go out and promote those books. So he makes the media tour. So, but he's not interested in meeting you. Oh, if I met him on the street, I'm sure he would shake my hand and give me a signature. Yes, because that is an area where, you know, a meet and greet thing. They have to do that. It's part of their book tour. You know, they go to the libraries and they sign books. And they don't go around and say, oh, hi, so-and-so. Ah, it's so good to see you again. No, they don't do that. They are really signing books for the loonies. The folks who think they are special. I've never went to a famous person and said, oh, you know what? You're famous because of me. You put your pants on the same way I do. I've never said that. Never done it. The only famous person I ever met was Louise Mandrell. And we were at a county fair. I was 12 years old. County fair, and she was singing on stage, and she pointed right to me and said, you want to sing a song with me? Woo, that was exciting. That was it. I didn't tell her that, you know, we were going to have a romance and fall in love and all that stuff. I never listened to her music before that day. Didn't know who she was. So, it's arrogant. It's narcissistic to think that you are so special that you get to go up to total strangers, to someone who you find interesting because they've worked their entire lives to make their story interesting. You know, this YouTube thing is not an easy job. It's you know, a struggle every day. So I've worked very hard so you could see the life I live on camera or on your phone. You're watching your phone or your screen, your TV, whatever it is you're watching it from. If you ever get this impression that I want to shake your hand in a store, I don't. I mean, that is my private time with Carolyn. Now, I've said this before, Carolyn doesn't like meeting people at all. She actually refuses to get on camera anymore because they're vicious. You know, the comment section, that's what's interesting. The comment section. If I didn't have to have the comment section open, I would shut it off. It is a complete nightmare to me. It is the trash pit of America. There are some kind commenters in the world, and I appreciate those. Now, YouTube has banned a lot of my good subscribers for whatever reason. I mean, I know what the reason is. They went over to troll channels, and they commented over on the troll channel, and the troll channel exposed them to a complaint I had to YouTube. So YouTube just deals with it by banning them from my channel. What it was is, a long time ago, I got a bunch of death threats, and I reported them all to YouTube. Same night. It was like 50 death threats, somewhere around there. Well, they all came from one type of genre, a troll channel. And so anytime anybody went to one of those troll channels and then they came back to my channel and commented, they got banned from it. But I do ban a lot of people. I mean, people, here's what's funny. People will say something on a channel, any channel, and then they'll go over to these troll channels and say, well, he hid me or blocked me or banned me from his channel. And I didn't say anything that bad. Well, but you already recognize you did say something that was a stab, a jab, whatever you want to call it. You didn't cuss him out, so it wasn't over the top bad, but it was like, here's the thing. Nobody wanted your opinion. That's what's interesting. You come to my channel to hear me speak. I didn't ask you to come over here. I didn't beg you. I actually tried to just, you know, just make a video, put it out there. If you watch it, great. If you don't, great, whatever. Especially in this channel, I've kind of given up on it. The only reason I keep it up is for folks who have been around here for a very long time. It's my appreciation. But as far as you coming in and giving me your opinion about how I should run my life, spend my money, do my thing, I'm not interested. I didn't ask for your opinion. I don't want your opinion. I didn't need your opinion before you gave it, and I don't want it after you did. So I block you. I mean, I don't know how much more difficult it is to figure this out. I don't know you. I don't think, and I really don't care how you think our relationship is. Your relationship with me is you watch me on a video and you're enamored by me. I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying there are some freaks out there, narcissists, who think, oh, I have a right to tell him who I am. I'm just as special as him. I put my pants on the same way, one leg at a time, just like he does. Okay, then start making YouTube videos. And let's see how good those pants really fit. So, I'm not interested in what you have to say. You come to my property, I don't know you, and I can't figure out how come you can't figure this out, but the people who come to my property said, I know you don't want people on your property, but I'm here just to say hi. What part of I don't want you on my property did you not understand? Well, I didn't think you were talking about us. We're good people. I thought you were talking about the trolls. Okay, you've just become a troll. You are now trolling me. You have come onto my property. You have invaded my sanctuary, my peace. And therefore, you're going to suffer for that. You're going to get sprayed with pepper spray after I tell you to leave and you refuse to leave. Oh, no, I don't have to leave. I just wanted to say hi. Psh, and call the police. That's just the way it's going to be. I don't care how long you've known this channel. I don't care if you watched every video on both channels forever. I don't care. I don't want you here. I don't go to your house. I don't invade your privacy. And I expect the same. I actually expect it probably more than you do. So, no. You don't put the pants on the same way I do. We're different people. So if you'll click this up next box to take the video over to my other channel, we appreciate it. Go check it out. So I hope I can inspire you to recognize your friends, not some imagination on the screen, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.